back to the Caprine Cottage Knitting Podcast. My name is Anne, and I'm coming to you from my kitchen in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. We took a week off, and maybe if some of you missed that, this is just a little reminder that I will be taking 1 week off per month, hopefully. And so if you're missing a video from me on a Friday, you can go check out my community tab on my channel page, or I think on mobile it will just come up in your subscription feed. But I'm not totally sure how it works. But so if you're missing something from me, you can go have a look there, and there should be a post saying something or other. But on that note, if you missed this week's community tab post, there's just like a photo there, but also I think it's probably going to be in like three videos from now. I'm going to do a Q&A. So if you have some questions, you can go to that community tab post and just pop them down there. Some of you have already done so. I love seeing your questions. So if there's something you want to ask me, that's if you could just like try and concentrate them there so I can have just one place to look for them. Okay, anyway, on to this week's video. The photo in that post was a little hint about what this week's topic was going to be, because this is going to be not just like a plain podcast, it's themed. And so the theme is Shetland and Shetland knitting, and my kind of journey with that, and how I came sort of to love both the knitwear and the place and the people and animals and all the things kind of about Shetland. And I guess, I'll just like put a little disclaimer, which is that obviously I'm not from there, so I can't speak for people who that's their native land. I am just a big fan, and of all the places I've been in the world, it's the place I've felt the most deeply connected to, besides obviously where I'm from. So I'm not totally sure where I want to start, but I think what I want to do first is I have some publications here. I have a whole basket of stuff to show you. And so I think first I'm going to show you all of the things that I've made that are like Shetland inspired or by Shetland designers. Then I think I'm going to talk a little bit about my trip and some things I got there. And then maybe I'll discuss books at the end. So in case there's people that like don't want to hear me talk about a bunch of books, you can like skip it at the end. And maybe I'll add something else in there if I've forgotten something. So I'm going to start here with there's this whole big old basket of stuff, kind of as always, I feel like. And so half of this is things that I've made, and half of it is things that I purchased on my trip last August. So my mother and I went to both the Scotland mainland and to Shetland in August of 2023, and it was truly a dream come true for me. I had like been fantasizing about going there for a really long time now, and I just kind of thought that was never going to be something that I was going to be able to achieve, at least not for a long time, because it is expensive to fly across the ocean and then go farther into the ocean. But my mom and I are really close. I'm an only child, and one day she just was like, jokingly, do you want to go to Scotland? I'm sure she assumed I would say no, because obviously at a farm I'm very busy, and it's hard to get away. But I think on that day it was like a really gloomy February day, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And she was like, wait, are you serious? And I was like, yes, I'm really serious. Let's just do it, like now or never kind of. And so I think it's just going to be like, I have these memories for the rest of my life. So it was an amazing time. But anyway, into the knitting, not to just like get emotional and everything. So I'll just start quickly with these because you've already seen them. These are the Tang Fair Isle socks by Jeanette Budge, and these are from Shetland Wool Adventures Journal, Volume 4. But yes, you've already seen these, so I'm not going to talk very much about them, but I thought I'd start with them. Then the next thing, this is my like first and only ever lace work knitting project, and it's really little. Here, I'll hold it up so you can see the lace a little bit. It's also been folded up, so it's a little wrinkly. But this is the Snarra Ness. I I don't know if it's a scarf or has what it's exactly called, but it's by Gudrun Johnston, and it is out of the Shetland Trader Book 3. And so it's cute. It's just like a little kerchief, headscarf kind of deal. I'm not going to put it on because it's really hard to do it without a mirror. Like, I can't even see what's going on here. But anyway, this was my first and only ever lace work attempt, and I'm pleased with how it came out. Like, I'm really happy with how it came out, but it was definitely a challenge for me. I don't know if it's like my brain struggles with that. I don't know. Like, I just feel like lace work does not come naturally to me. But this is knit up in Jamieson and Smith 2-ply lace weight. And I don't know the color, but I'll put it in the description so you can see if you like this. And I would really like to make, I bought yarn to make a second one of these. I was hoping to give one to my mom as a gift, but it was so hard that I've sort of pushed that aside. But maybe for the holidays or something. She definitely watches these, so pretend you didn't hear that. But yeah, so a little bit of Shetland lace work. Then I have, oh, this is fun, because I don't think anyone has really seen this. I never photographed it or anything for social media, but this is my Buggy Floor beanie, which was the Shetland Wool Week hat pattern for 2023. And so I sort of copied one of their colorways, but I had a lot of leftover colors from my Sorek smock. And so this is, it's JNS 2-ply, jumper weight. And yeah, I just used mostly scraps. I think I purchased the green. I didn't have the green. But it's very similar to one of the like official colorways. I think my background color is a little bit lighter. And also if I knit this a while ago now, so I don't remember, but I think, can't really see it, but somewhere in here, I think I ran out of background color and switched to a slightly different background color, but you can't tell. It's somewhere up here in the crown, I think. Yeah. Oh, and fun story, you can barely see it, but like there's the one row of pop color here is a yellow, let's see if it'll focus, right here. And that yellow yarn is very special to me because when I got to meet Gudrun and Mary Jane at Rhinebeck in, I think 2021, I always forget what year it was, but one of the things you got for buying Gudrun's book was a ball of JNS 2-ply jumper weight. Like, it was a giveaway for like, I don't know, however many first people that came, and of course I was like right there at the beginning. But yeah, that was my first ball of that yarn I ever got, and so it was really special, and this was the first project I used it in. I still have it, and I don't remember what color it is either, so I'll try to remember to look at them. So that's that, Shetland Wool Week. The new hat pattern for 2024 just came out, and I think it's really cute. It has like ram's heads on it, so I will be knitting that probably sometime. My knitting plans are so full, and they just constantly grow, but I would like to finish that before Wool Week in September. As if I'm going. I'm not going. And then the next thing is a set. So this is the Buness Tam by Mary Jane Mucklestone. It's from Fair Isle Weekend. And this is also JNS 2-ply jumper weight. I made this also last year. And I just thought these colors were like so stunningly beautiful. And then from the same book, she has a fingerless mitts pattern. It's called the Tom-Toe mitts. And so I recolored the chart to match. So it's a little matching set. These are also a little worse for wear. I wear them a lot. Oops, I dropped one. But I wore these a lot in Shetland actually, because we had good weather actually, but it was a bit rainy at times and kind of chilly, which I actually love. Like right now, we've had about like a week and a half of like hotter weather, like summer weather, and I'm dying. So I think that's one thing I loved about Shetland, was that it was not too hot there. Yeah, so I made these to match. And so yeah, again, I will either try to put colors below, or if you're curious about what the color numbers are, they are the same in this as for the hat. Like if you just look at the pattern, like the sample pattern sample, But if you're curious, or if you want a copy of the recolored chart, I think I have a digital file for that. So if you were wanting that, I could give it to you. Though it wasn't very hard to do. I just used, I don't know what it's called anymore, I forget. There's like a chart making program, like it's a free online program. Anybody who does this kind of stuff probably knows what it's called. I've forgotten, but I could look it up. But I think I still have the file. And then the last thing I have is my Sorek smock, which I was wearing the other day, a couple weeks ago, whenever that video was. So you can see it. You've already kind of seen it. Cute little pockets. Yeah. So as of now, is it still May? But I think this is going to go live on June 1st, but it's May while I'm filming this. As of May 2024, that is all of the like Shetland themed knits that I've made. Yeah, and I just feel like I fall more in love with Fair Isle colorwork knitting. The more I do it, I feel like it just like comes to me. Like it wasn't necessarily like difficult for me to get the tension right. Like something about it just innately works for me. Lacework, on the other hand, not so much. But I'm like willing to try. I do like a challenge, so I'm hoping to take on some more Shetland lace projects. So then the next stuff here in this basket is stuff I bought on my trip, and there's only 3 things. Like knitwear, I mean, I bought a ton of stuff. I'll be putting in pictures too from my trip. You'll see like my suitcase was jam-packed with yarn. Like the whole bottom layer I packed with balls of yarn. The other day I was out with my mom and she's like, so have you like used all of the yarn you bought in Scotland? And the answer is some of it. But yeah, so some of the things I got in the charity shops in Shetland, people knit and donate things to sell to like help, the charity make some money. And I'm pretty sure this is one of those items. Like I think it could be vintage, but I think it's probably new knit. But it's this lacework cowl in these it looks kind of funny there. I'll put it on so you can see, in these super vintagey colors, which I think is so cute. Let's see. So it just goes like this. You can probably like fold it over. I love like how 70s the colors are. I can't remember which charity shop this was in, but it was definitely on Commercial Street in Lerwick, the one that's like on the actual Commercial Street. And I saw it like right as we walked in and I was like, I have to buy that. I don't remember how much it cost, but I just knew like I love these colors. I love brown and warm colors. So yeah, I knew it was for me. And it's so beautifully made. It's really fine. Here, I'll hold it closer. And I just think it's so cute. And I don't know the name of this lacework pattern. I should have looked that up because I think somewhere in my brain I do know it, but not right now. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was like a really exciting thing to find. And then the next thing I bought, or that I'm going to show you that I bought, was this. So this is like my most prized possession at this point. This is in the photo on the community tab post. And so someone guessed, you guys were like really good guessers. Someone guessed that it was going to be a colorwork episode, which like sort of, someone guessed, or someone recognized the Lerwick like skyline harbor area. So that was very good. I don't remember who these people were. So you'll know when you see this, you'll be like, that was me. And then someone else guessed, that it was about like maybe Orkney, because it's a photo of me on the ferry and the like life ring says Kirkwall on it. So you were all really, really close. Yeah, you were good guessers. But so this sweater is in that picture. Is a cardigan. This I bought at Jamieson's of Shetland, and I knew when I went that I wanted a cardigan from there. Like that was the one like expensive thing that I knew I wanted to buy. Like I just knew that this would be like an heirloom for the rest of my life, that I would treasure it. And I didn't really know what kind, sorry, I'm trying to show it a little better. I didn't really know what kind of garment I wanted to get. Like I've looked on their website 1,000 times, but then I just saw this. This is like very much in the super traditional Shetland colors. And I saw it and I was like, I want that pattern. And luckily there was a cardigan in my size. It does have a little leather elbow patches, which I think are super cute. They always make me think of like some kind of academic. Not that I'm an academic, but I can fantasize, right? So yeah, the cuffs, like the main color, the cuffs and the button band are natural Shetland black, like sheep black. Yeah, so that's like my prized, very special thing that I got to remember my trip, the ultimate souvenir. And yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about the trip in a little bit, but in any of the like both in Jamieson's of Shetland, in Jamieson and Smith wool brokers, and then I'm not gonna remember what it's called, but there's like another like haberdashery kind of shop on Commercial Street, and in all of those shops I met so many just like really kind people. Like everyone working there was so sweet and like so enthusiastic and like, you know, so happy to like help me pick out my colors for my projects or help us pick out souvenirs and stuff. So it's just, I mean, that was the whole trip. Like all of our time being in Shetland was just like, everyone was so incredibly nice. So it was like really great and really fun. But then one last thing, like thing of knitwear thing, is this, I guess you could call it a sweater. It's kind of like a slip over. So it looks like this. Ooh, it's going to be hard to show you. It's kind of long. Kind of like a tunic. And here at the back neck is this colorwork section. And at the like neck opening, there's a little bit more. Wow, this is hard to show. But anyway, I got this. Oh yeah, it also has this colorwork at the waist. I got this at a different charity shop in Lerwick. It was, if anyone knows that town well, it's the one that's like closer to, it's almost like next door to Perry Shop Cafe. It's like down by the harbor. But it was our last day. We were like doing our final, what would you call it? Like shopping. Like we did a lot of shopping, but it was our final like day. And we were like, okay, like if there's anything else like we wanted, like we have to go get it now because we're getting on the ferry in like 3 hours. Like we have to buy our last things. And in that charity shop, they had a large selection of things that were like hand knitted. And so I wanted to get one of my friends a gift from there. And then this just happened to be there. And this, I think, I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is like vintage or vintage adjacent. Like I don't think that it was newly knit. And it is sort of like a funny thing where I'm like, was it meant to be a slip over? It's obviously handmade, like it doesn't have a tag. But like, was it meant to be just this slip over, this sleeveless kind of tunicky slip over? Or, you know, was it meant to have sleeves? Because it's just kind of like a raw, curly stockinette edge here. But then also like the armhole is like very large. I feel like if you were going to put it set in a sleeve there. But this just spoke to me. It looks to me like this is like my sort of like take on it, is that it reminds me so much of like, what would you call it? Like a medieval knight, like something like that you would wear jousting, like with the, it's called like something when it's split like that, party color, I think it's called, on like medieval garments that are like this. And so something about it, I just also like, I love red, I love mustard. It was so, like I had to have it, I guess. And I think it's super cute that it's a tunic length. And so that was like my one maybe vintage find. I don't know if it is or not. It definitely, it seems like it's been washed. So like, I don't think that it, and not just like blocked. Like it seems like it's been worn. Like the wool has started to do that beautiful thing that Shetland wool does where it kind of like folds in and becomes fuzzy and not felts, but like comes together in a way that only happens over time. So yeah, that was my last thing. So those are all the things I have of knitwear to show you. I just thought I'd talk a little bit about our trip next. I'm not going to go on too long, and then I'll just quickly talk about the assortment of books I have here at Publications. Some of you have said that you love books, so don't tempt me. But yeah, our trip, we flew into Edinburgh, spent a few days there, took the train to Inverness, spent a few days there, and then we took the train from Inverness to Aberdeen to catch the ferry to Shetland. And that train ride was gorgeous also. Like, actually all of the train rides were amazing. And I'm so happy that we chose to use public transportation instead of renting a car. Also because I'm a nervous driver, but it was just really fun to kind of like, I expected to do so much more knitting when I was there. I knit one sock, that's it. Because the whole time we were like on transportation, like I expected to be like bored. No, I was just staring out the window the whole time or taking pictures. So that was really fun. But then, yeah, we took the ferry from Aberdeen. It's overnight. You know anything about Shetland and how that all works. And it was a very easy, smooth crossing. It was summer, no storms, nothing like that. I do have a tendency to get motion sick, but not like terribly. Like I'm not one of those people that just like is so violently ill constantly. For me, it's more like, okay, like I don't feel great, or it like will sneak up on me. I've been on like many boat trips in my life, and usually I'm okay. But I was a little nervous because it's long, you know, it's overnight. But I was totally fine. I imagine it could be like intense in the winter or at a stormy time. You definitely feel the like back and forth moving of the boat. But we arrived, and I'm not going to remember our schedule, but I'm just going to highlight some things that I felt were like really special. I mean, the whole thing was really special. And yeah, like some of the books will kind of lead into some of these things, but we did a lot of walks. I guess, yeah, I'll just show you this book because it kind of is about that. But so this book I bought when I was there, and like if you're going, I highly recommend when you get there, go to the Shetland Times bookstore or wherever and buy this little book. If you like to walk, preface that with that. But first of all, it's like the cutest little thing ever. Like it's just so adorable. I don't know, I love a good guidebook. But it's 40 coast and country walks, and this was like really helpful to me because I knew that I wanted to do walks. I knew that I wanted to, you know, like Scotland is beautiful with that, with the right to roam. Obviously in America we don't really have that. There's like private property left and right, and you can't just show up on it. So that was really special to me. But so one of our first days there, we did the walk. We walked from our Airbnb to Clickham and Brock, which was beautiful. We had a little like cafe, like what do you call it? Lunch, brunch at the Fiara Cafe, which I mean, we were lucky to get in. It was busy, but I wish I had like made us a reservation though. I guess it all worked out. But it was, that cafe is so gorgeous. It's right on the water. And then we walked all along, like, I'm not going to remember what it's called, but like the Slets, and then past the cemetery and back into town. And so like that loop was just like epic. It was an epic walk. It was raining really bad that day. We were like drenched. I mean, we brought like appropriate gear, but it was like a wet walk. And I do feel like I sort of like dragged my mom on these adventures. But so, you know, we did a lot of walks. We also, a different day, went to Sombra. We went to Jarlshof and then walked to Summerhead Light and then back down and then walked to the airport. We were hoping to find like, because the cafe at Summerhead Light was closed. When we were there, like we had walked up this like giant coastal path to the lighthouse, and we were hoping to have like refreshments. I mean, they did have snacks there, but we were hoping to have like lunch or, you know, at least tea. And it was closed. So then we had, I think, like cookies and maybe like juice boxes. I forget what we bought at the gift store there. I probably have a picture. I'll find it. But then we walked back down, and then like we had extra time before the bus came. So we walked to the airport again, hoping for tea and coffee. The cafe there, I think, was closed too. So it's just like an epic adventure. And we also went to St. Ninian's, which I feel like you have to go there. That was like just majestic. But this book like was really helpful with the walks. Like it has lots of maps. Let me see if I can find like one of the ones that we did. Yeah, so here's like the Sombra Head and Jarlshof page, and so it has like a whole map. It shows you where you, like, how you should walk. We didn't do the whole walk. We were like a little nervous about missing the buses, but we were always super early for them. The bus system in Shetland, I mean, I'm saying this as an American where like public transportation, unless you're in a large city, is like arguably atrocious. So we were really impressed by the availability of public transportation. It was like very convenient. You can have some water, all this talking. But yeah, so we did a lot of walking. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, something else I was going to discuss was, which I think this, like, I'll preface this by saying I think it was my favorite museum I've ever been to in my whole life, and I'm an avid museum goer. Like, if I go anywhere, that's what I want to do, at least for some of the time. And so that was the Shetland Textile Museum. Like I said, I'll try and put in some pictures. I think I have some, but it's small. It's a small museum, but it was definitely my favorite museum, like, pretty much ever. Like, another one that comes close is one actually here in New York State in Cooperstown, which is the Farmers Museum, which I haven't been there since I was a kid, but that also moved me in the same way. But yeah, it's like situated so beautifully. It's in an old house. It just is nice. And upstairs there were volunteers who were knitting. And so it was like really special to talk to them, you know, like to talk to real Shetland knitters and kind of ask them some questions about their knitting technique and kind of like how knitting, like, plays a part in their lives and everything. And so it was cute. They were talking about how they volunteer like a couple days a week and like it's different people every day. Oh yeah, so this is something I bought kind of after talking to them. So I bought a Shetland knitting belt, and one set of needles, and I haven't, like, I asked the woman there, like, because she was saying like how it's so much, you know, like, easier and helps you to have the knitting belt. And I was like, do you think I can like learn on my own? Because I knew I wasn't going to be there very long. She's like, oh yeah, of course you can learn. So I bought one. I also think it's just an incredibly beautiful item. I obviously wanted to also, it's made by a local Shetland maker. I've lost the tag, so I don't know who it is. But I also, you know, I wanted to support the museum. I wanted to support local makers. But I haven't learned to use it. And part of that is because I only bought one set of needles. And so, like, they're long. It probably says they're 30 centimeters long. And they're DPNs. And so I only bought one. And these are size 3, which is actually, I'm happy I bought a 3 because it's like a really standard size for me. But I wish I had bought more. I guess I didn't realize how hard it would be to source that style of needle in the United States. So I guess, yeah, this is also a call to anybody who sees this. If you know a place in the US that, like, not for like a crazy amount of money, like, these were like very inexpensive. They were £3.50. So obviously I'm willing to pay more than that, but like, if you know of a place in the US that sells them or can get them, I would love to buy some more sizes so that I can start using my knitting belt more. I definitely can cast on like a test project with those, but I would like to have some more sizes. Yeah, so that's like a small regret. I wish I had bought another set when I was there. Yeah, so the Shetland Textile Museum was amazing. I love it. Like, I wanted to just like live there. I'm like, I can just like hide here. And I remember there was a guy working at the desk, and he was really nice. He talked to me about knitting. He was knitting. So yeah, it was just a great time. And then the final thing I'll talk about, because who wants to hear about someone else's vacation? I don't know, maybe it's inspiring. But the other thing we did was in the summer in Shetland, I think weekly. Is it weekly? I don't know. But there are, or maybe it's monthly. No, it's got to be weekly. There's agricultural shows for like many of the communities. And so conveniently the week we were there was the Unst agricultural show. And the bus company there was doing like a chartered bus that you could take to the show, which was incredibly convenient for us. I think it was like £20 per person. It might have even been 10, honestly. It was not expensive. And so that paid for your bus fare on a chartered bus, so it wasn't like the public bus, and both ferries to and from, because to get to Unst, you have to go mainland, Yell, Unst, and so there's 2 ferries. And I was very nervous about like taking the public bus up there and then like risking like missing a ferry, how to book the ferry, how that all worked. So this was just the most like convenient thing that happened to be happening. We got to go to Unst and go to the agricultural show, which was obviously right up my alley. And so there was like animals, there was amazing fish and chips, there was like baked goods. It was very much like, we would call it like here, like a county fair. Beautiful, beautiful knitwear. I will definitely put photos in from the Unst show. I know I took a lot of photos there because it was very, just like, it was so much fun and so cool. And we got to talk to, there were some other tourists on the bus with us. I want to say they were Australian, but I think they had family in Shetland, and then some Shetlanders, and the bus driver was really sweet. We talked to him for a while about like farming and stuff. Yeah, everyone there is just like so welcoming and friendly, and I love to like chat to people. I'm not like a very extroverted person, but when I go somewhere, like I want to just talk to people who live there and not feel like, I hate sometimes when you go on vacation and then it's like this weird separation. Like, you know, like the classic example is like going to the Caribbean and being in an all-inclusive resort and you never get to see like anything really, like you're just like in your little bubble. And so that was, I really felt like connected to the people in the place when I was there, which was really special to me. Yeah, so those were some highlights from kind of like the perspective of someone who's interested in knitting, fiber, agriculture, those sort of things. I feel like I'm probably missing something, but I don't know, best I could do. And then, yeah, our ferry ride back was also beautiful. We were leaving Lerwick Harbor as the sun was setting, and it was just like gorgeous and also obviously really emotional. I was like pretty much in tears. Actually, I cried like 1,000 times on this trip because it was just like, I'm like even tearing up thinking about it because it was so like moving. Yeah. So that's about it on that. And then, sorry, I should check the time on the camera again. Okay, I have enough time. I have to kind of hurry. I'm worried this video is going to end up too long. But I'll just quickly run through some books. If you like want to, some are knitting, some are not knitting. But if you like want to know about some publications that are Shetland themed, I guess. And so the first ones here in the stack, you can probably see, and I only have 2 because I've actually lent the rest to my mom, but are the, you know, the Shetland Mysteries by Cleeves. It's like the TV show. I love the TV show, but also I love like a crime drama, and then it being set in Shetland was like such a plus for me. So yeah, if you like a mystery, like you like to read mysteries, these are so good and so fun. I'm halfway through the last one, so you can see I read them very quickly. Yeah, they're great. Also, I really like her other books. If you like mystery books, like I've read some of the Vera series, and then there's the new series that's the Matthew Venice, the detective, and I just bought some of them at the book sale. So looking forward to reading those. Then this is just a cute little fingerless mitt pattern I bought, but I thought I'd show it because I just think it's so cute. There's the chart. Yeah, I think it's so cute. And this is designed by Nicole Estelle. I bought this at, the store is called Ninian in Lerwick. Then this is something I bought in the United States. This is put out by PomPom. Please tell me it's PomPom. Yeah, PomPom Press. And it's Wool Journey. They have like, well, I don't know anymore now that PomPom is like no more. I don't know if you can still get these, but they had like Wool Journey for like an assortment of places. And so this one was Shetland. I have a little flag here, I think, for something I want to make. Oh yeah, there's this like beautiful lace shawl that I might want to make eventually, but this is also just sweet. A bunch of them went to Shetland and made a little book about it. The next ones, which I talk about these incessantly, are the Shetland Wool Adventures Journal. I have volumes 1 through 4. I had volume 1, and then I think I ordered volume 2, and then I bought 3 and 4 in Shetland. But these are like, they're expensive. I'm not going to pretend they're not expensive if you're buying them in the States, like the shipping and everything. But they're worth every penny. Like, if you want to treat yourself to a great publication, get them. Like, I highly, highly recommend them. They're beautifully printed, amazing quality. And they have recipes, they have walks in Shetland. It's not just knitting. I think they're just a great thing to have. Next one is Grand Shetland Adventure. I've already shown this, but I thought I'd show it again. This book I love. This is by Jamieson and Smith, and volume 2 is out. I want it so badly, but it's their Wirsit Inspo picks made into a book, and this is so inspiring. Like I think I put a bookmark in here of one color palette that I'm actually sort of thinking of using something similar. This one here. But I love this. I think this is if you do color work knitting, this book, you want to have it. Or like, obviously you can go on Instagram and look at the pictures, but I really like physical media. Maybe I'm old school that way. I don't know. But I think this is a great resource. It helps you kind of like think about color in a different way. Obviously there's beautiful photos of Shetland too. But for me, it was really inspiring for me. Then I could like connect the idea to my landscape and the idea of like creating color palettes from where I live too, because that's good. The next one is Farewell Weekend by Mary Jane Mucklestone. I've also shown you this before. This is Lina Publishing. I'm not going to talk about these too much because you've already seen them. Shetland Trader Book 3, PomPom Press, Gudrun, Johnston. Again, I've talked about this ad nauseum, so there are trucks going by. Sorry about that. This, though, is something that I bought in Shetland, Langsoond. This is by Donna Smith. She's a knitter and dyer in Shetland. Can you see that? I feel like the contrast is bad. But I also bought this at Ninian. It's full of patterns. There's like one. But yeah, Donna Smith, she's a designer, a crofter, a dyer from Shetland, and this has 10 patterns. But also I'm pretty sure, I haven't even honestly gotten to look at this book a ton, but it talks, a lot about her life, her, dyeing the yarn, having the sheep. I just think it's really beautiful. So I was happy that I found that. And then the last one I showed you guys in a recent video, but it's just traditional Fair Isle knitting by Sheila McGregor. But yeah, so that's like kind of my collection of Shetland themed books. Honestly, there could be more in the house. I did my best to kind of collect them up yesterday. And I was like, have I forgotten or missed anything? And the truth is probably yes. They'll turn up and I'll be like, I should have put this in my video. But yeah, I guess I didn't really discuss too much about how I came to be so interested in Shetland. And the short answer is sort of that maybe I don't know where it comes from. Definitely the Shetland sheep connection. And then just that I was seeing colorwork knitted patterns and aspiring to want to make them, but maybe not knowing how, like feeling like it was so unattainable. And then I think I've mentioned this before, but at those authors talks with Gudrun and Mary Jane, I felt they made it just seem so attainable. Like they were like, they didn't say this, but like part of it was like, you can do this. Like if I could do this, you can do this. And that definitely gave me the like kick in the pants sort of to try it. And then now it's my favorite thing. But yeah, let's check the time. I have a few minutes to say goodbye to you, and hopefully this video fits. Like my hard drive can handle it. But yeah, so again, thank you everyone for joining me as always. I don't know if I really discussed the video schedule, but next week is going to be a regular podcast episode. The following week is a surprise. And then the week after that will be the Q&A. So, and I feel like for the Q&A, maybe it would be fun to do like a, what do you call it? Like a premiere party. Like I've seen people do that. And so I could be like on the chat live as it's going live. So if you guys like that idea, let me know. We still have a few weeks to decide. But yeah, that's really all I've got. I just rambled for like 40 minutes. So thank you for bearing with me. And I think that's all I have. I've probably forgotten many a thing. But as always, if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel, if you're interested, no pressure, but also like a little pressure, I would greatly appreciate that. It really helps me out. The channel's growing honestly faster than I could have ever imagined. So thank you. That's all thanks to you guys. And anything else will be found down there in the description. I'm on Instagram and on Ravelry. Those are, I mean, I have like TikTok, but I don't use it. So these are the three places you'll find me. So yeah, again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I love reading your comments. Tell me if you have any interest in colorwork knitting, Shetland as a place. Leave me some comments. I love to chat. It's so much fun meeting you guys. I've been seeing like repeat faces and it's just a joy. Bye.